But the other thing that Hamas was doing is changing the paradigm. You see, what was happening in the lead up to this was the full implementation of the Abraham Accords. That is the agreement negotiated between Donald Trump's presidency, Israel, and the Gulf Arab states. The idea of which is to create the conditions for a Palestinian state. But if you read the Abraham Accord, it means there will never be a Palestinian state. It's designed not to have a Palestinian state. It's just political cover so that Israel can normalize relations with the Gulf Arab states, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, and they were on the verge of signing a normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia. And had that been penned, there would never be a Palestinian state. It was over, never going to happen. Hamas had no choice. If they believed in a Palestinian state, if they believed in a future that would have a Palestinian state, they had no choice but to do what they do. And what can they do? It's not meant to be a minor attack. It's meant to be attack on the scope and scale of which that Israel would do exactly what Israel's doing right now. Please, people, understand. This ain't an Israeli victory. This isn't Israel flexing. Israel's walking right into the trap set by Hamas. Israel's doing a couple things. One, they're killing a lot of civilians. Look, let's just be straight up honest here. Hamas knew that was going to happen. Hamas almost wanted that to happen. They needed that to happen. Why? How do you win over international public opinion? By letting Israel drop 6 2,000-pound JDAMs on a crowded refugee camp. Okay, there's no military justification for that. This is just Israel doing what they always said they're going to, collective punishment. Don't believe a damn word Israel says when they say, oh, there was a Hamas terrorist underground someplace. They didn't know where the guy was. They dropped 6 2,000-pound bombs. This isn't precision strike, ladies and gentlemen. This is area bombardment in a very specific area designed to kill a whole bunch of people, and they did. This is what's going on and on and on. And the world has flipped. You don't see large-scale demonstrations in the street for Israel today. You see it for Palestine. You see it for Hamas. Hamas has become the hero organization. Hamas has become the resistance organization. Turkey has said, these are mujahid. These are freedom fighters. These are resistance fighters. They're not terrorists. And the world's buying into this because of Israel's overreaction. And now look at what's happened. Joe Biden, very staunch pro-Israel kind of guy, gave a speech where he said, when this is over, we're not returning to October 6th status quo, meaning that the Abraham Accords are dead. He said there will be a Palestinian state. There has to be a Palestinian state. Hamas has already won the war because that's on the table, but now they have to follow through. And the other thing is, I don't think Hamas wants Hezbollah to intervene. I don't think Hamas triggered this to kill Israel. Hamas triggered this to get the Abraham Accord killed, to get Israel to the negotiating table. Hamas has told Iran, everybody's going, oh no, this was coordinated with Iran and Hezbollah. No, it wasn't. Hezbollah and Iran didn't know anything about this. They were taken by surprise by this. And you can tell by the way they're reacting. Hamas has said to the Iranians, don't intervene. We got this under control. We're not panicking. We know what we're doing. We're bringing them in, and then we're going to chew them up, and they're going to have to leave. They're going to leave because we're kicking their ass, and they're going to leave because the world is turning on them. And then the end result, we get a Palestinian state. But Hezbollah and Iran have, built up this whole notion that they are backing the Palestinian people, and now they're stuck. They're stuck in between a narrative, because if they don't do something, they're seen as being weak. The Hamas becomes the heroes. They become lesser. It's a very, very dangerous situation. But if for a minute you think that Hamas is a terrorist organization and Israel is the aggrieved party, you know nothing about the history of this conflict.